Hello, everybody. I'm a practicing therapist and I am also a doctoral student of psychology. Today, we are going to go over a topic, a question that was requested, and I thought I could elaborate and translate that into a video to help folks who have that same question. And the specific question was more along the lines of why are so many people single? And what I decided to do was I split it up between the genders. One male video and one female video. Today, we're going to talk about why so many men are single. And either before or after this one, we're going to talk about why females are single, okay? And I think this is very important because a lot of people want relationships, but because of what's been happening in our world in our current time, relationships are not as prominent as they used to be to some extent. And we have research on that. We see that people are choosing to be single more often. People are getting married much later. Relationships might even be lasting in a less amount. So they're shorter. They're not lasting as long. And so today we're going to talk about what are those factors? What is it that's making men single? And the very first one is making assumptions about your potential partner without vetting this potential partner or getting to know this potential partner. Maybe you made an assumption about her based on the way she looks, or based on her family background, maybe the way she dresses. You have made an assumption about her instead of getting to know her. And you might even make that assumption outright. And so if you make that assumption outright towards her, what ends up happening is she feels judged and unappreciated immediately. And so what ends up happening is she obviously rejects you or feels less likely to open up to you, to which creates a discord for that possible potential relationship. If she's not feeling respected or appreciated or even asked, you could ask her. You can still make that assumption if it's really something that you're concerned about. But if you bring it up in a way where you're asking, right? You might say, hey, I notice a lot of people who went to your college are like X, Y, and Z. I'm not judging, but I had, some experiences. I'm trying not to be judgmental, but are you like this? And, you obviously don't want to say this right away, but if you have that question, you can lean it in a way where give me your explanation because I don't want to judge you, even if I'm struggling in the moment, right? This is some way that you can understand a person where they're coming from. And rather, she feels like she can explain it. She might say, I used to be like that. I understand that my college was like a party school or whatever it is, and I didn't, get very good grades, but now I'm doing really well for myself. Who knows, maybe this person went to dentist school and now they're a dentist and they're really happy. And, maybe she's changed a lot and she just wanted to open that up and share that with you. And then you can appreciate that and respect her. And now you guys are feeling much more closer, okay? The next one is believing that all people of the opposite sex are the same. Now, I think a lot of people who get into this or feel this way, it actually comes from them not having much experience with the opposite gender. And it's not necessarily experience in a way where, you might be choosing not to have that much experience, or maybe you've had a lot of bad experiences, so you haven't had many good experiences. So I understand that as well, and I can appreciate that. But what ends up happening when you believe all individuals are the same, you might have a bias to which if somebody is not like that, you either think they're lying or you don't, or you think that, something's going to happen, it's going to prove otherwise. Or you believe that whatever reason, this is not a good match for you subconsciously because you believe all people are the same. And that puts you in a situation to which you're not getting the person who's going to treat you right because you believe all people are going to treat you bad or going to spend your money or they're going to hurt you or whatever it is. And what happens is you push people away because of that narrative. People will hear you say that or they'll see it in your language, your body language. And a lot of people might not want to be with somebody who judges them. It doesn't feel very good. And the next one is a little bit specific. And folks, I'm sorry if this is a little bit harsh. I really do apologize. I try to be as honest as possible in my videos, and a lot of people don't like that. And I understand that a lot of people are going to make a lot of inappropriate comments towards me. So I admit that I don't really want to say this one, but I'm going to. The next one I'm about to say is probably something that's going to make people really mad, is a lot of men might feel like the dating scene is rigged or against them. And I'm not saying this is wrong or right necessarily. There could be a lot of variables. However, believing this continuously can make you feel a lot of hatred towards other people, to which You feel like you have no choice but to be single. And maybe that's true to some extent. I'm not saying it is or isn't. I don't know. I'm not in that experience, and I'm not trying to deny that. However, believing this creates a defeatist mindset. It creates a limiting belief, right? A limiting belief in psychology is when we believe something to such a point where it actually blocks us from trying to gain access to the opposite or what it could be. So, for example, if you believe, let's say somebody believes that, I don't know, they're a failure. They believe that they are a failure. They will always believe that way, and so they're not going to even try. That's what tends to happen when you have these limiting beliefs. So when you believe that the dating scene is rigged or against you, what ends up happening is you don't try to date, or you don't try to connect with individuals of the opposite sex. And I will say, I know it's challenging. I'm not denying it. I have a lot of patients who are in this category where it's just hard for them to find a potential partner. So I'm not denying that, but I am saying that having this negative belief continuously may actually keep men single without realizing it, okay? The next one is they actually deep inside, some men believe that they don't deserve love or respect. And so because they feel like they don't deserve love or respect, they either pick partners who treat them poorly and make them have an even more negative perspective of themselves, or they avoid relationships altogether because they believe really, truly, that they don't deserve love or respect. And the last one is of a similar vein, okay? It's actually what might be keeping you single is if you tolerate disrespect from other people, men and women. You tolerate them treating you poorly, to which you internalize those things, believe those things, and you make yourself believe that relationships come with disrespect. They come with being hurt. They come with mistreatment. And so why would anybody, including yourself, want to be in a relationship knowing it's disrespectful? You might even avoid friendships for this reason. Because when a person feels so negative about a situation, why would they want to subject themselves to that, right? Let's say you have a family that's not treating you that well. Let's say your external family or your cousins or whatever it is. It's very unlikely you're going to want to go to your cousin's wedding or hang out with your cousin or your family because you automatically think they're going to treat you that way because they have. So that is a typical response to someone feeling disrespectful. But what you're doing is you're tolerating disrespect to such a point where now you think it's everywhere, right? Instead of avoiding it when it's disrespectful. And so all I'm trying to say, and I'm sorry if that didn't make a lot of sense, but all that I'm trying to say is when you feel disrespected, speak up about it. Avoid people who disrespect you and find ways to navigate around it instead of avoid situations altogether, right? We were just talking about this example where maybe someone's family disrespects them. When they realize, they obviously naturally pull away from that disrespect. However, in a negative context, you don't want them to pull away entirely of all social functions, right? Sometimes people do that when they allow that disrespect continuously. Rather, you can say, okay, my family disrespects me. I'm going to keep contact to a minimum, but that doesn't mean every single person disrespects. So when you tolerate disrespect, you believe that it's real. You believe that you deserve it. You believe that everybody's like that. And so that can keep you single because then you think that a woman might disrespect you. Does that make sense? So I hope this video was helpful to somebody. Please like, subscribe. I will see you in the next one.